If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I've made a couple of videos talking about all the sus mods that have popped up in FNF. Today, I want to look at all the most sus mods and then rank them from how sexual they are. The worst on the list are going to be the ones that are just straight up corn. Then we'll move the mods that are just really sexual. Then we'll go to mods that are sus. And the final tier will be mods that are tame, meaning that they're not really too bad. Now we're going to start off with the worst offenders here and then work our way down. So let's go ahead and start with Mime and Dash. People may look at this one and think that it isn't too bad, but if you actually look up these two mimes, you will get a lot more than you bargained for. As far as I know, no one has actually made a new version of this mod yet, which is why this one is like the first in this category, but as we go on, they're gonna get worse. With that being said, next is gonna be the eye-catching mod, and while I'm showing you the safe for work version, there is one that has actual nudity. And if you're curious as to what the women are looking at, or why the mod is called eye-catching, you may be too young for this video, so go ahead and get out of here. And the final song that we are going to put in this corn category is going to be the sex mod. And I'm not joking with the name, that's what it's called. I'm showing the safe for work version of Girlfriend, but let's just say that the way she tries to distract the player is by getting completely naked. I'm not sure if you can still find this mod online, but don't go look for it, trust me. Now moving to the sexual category, we're going to start this one off with a character that people used to simp for back in the day, and that's going to be Nakuza. Now this one makes the sexual tier because it's literally her and this character that looks way too young but is actually 20 bathing in this hot tub. I think CommunityGames made a safe for work version where they had a towel over themselves, but this right here is the original. Now to stick with the water theme, we have the Girlfriend from the Jason mod here, and this was another mod that really had people acting up. And while this one is definitely sexual, it also makes sense because it is a Jason mod, and so many of those movies revolved around like teenagers skinny dipping and just messing around in general, so it's kind of fitting. And when I say teenager, most of them were like 18, 19. Next we have the After Trauma mod, and I don't think a lot of people know how dark this one is. Basically, Lois hypnotized Peter to perform a naughty act whenever he heard a certain song. And that worked great when they're actually at home alone, but it backfires when they go to Lois's parents' home for dinner and Peter hears the song when he's in Lois's mother's bedroom. This obviously ends horribly for Peter and Lois, which is why they look so devastated in the car here, but the mom seems to be very happy with how it turned out. The last mod that I'm going to place here is going to be Furnace Witty, and I debated putting this one in the sus category, but Girlfriend is literally naked here and I don't know why. At least they made her cover up her body with her knees, so I guess that makes it a little bit better. With that being said, let's move over to the sus mod, starting with Toy Chica. And I know I don't really need to explain too much for some of these because most of you can see, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. I think the outfit speaks for itself, but to make matters even worse, they have Chica licking her microphone as well. And I don't know what type of party her shirt is implying, but I know that it isn't for children. Now we have the regular show mod next, and I was going to place this one into the tame category, but a lot of people are calling this one sus. I think it's because people know the backstory of this mod and the fact that it deals with Mordecai and Rigby kissing, and I guess just overall being very affectionate with each other, and a lot of people hated this mod because they really loved the regular show and they hated seeing this ship that just the community didn't approve of. I think I have to put Thick Cervante next on the list. This is a character from back when FNF was still relatively new, and a lot of people simped for this character. While some people may argue that this one should go into the sexual tier because of the thickness and the outfit that she has on, I would argue that this one isn't too bad. Because I mean, at least she's covered up for the most part. Now, speaking of thickness, I couldn't make this video without adding the thickest ghost, aka Aruta. And now be honest, put down in the comments how many of you fell for this character's trick. And for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, this character is actually a dude using bags of flour to prop up his chest. Although that doesn't explain why he's caked up.
Double cheeked up on a Thursday afternoon.
Next, we have one of my favorite mods, and that's going to be the Trepidation mod. But while I like this for its creepy story, a lot of people liked it for Girlfriend's design. The developers made sure to make her very gifted in certain areas in this mod. And we can't talk about gifted without adding the Demon of Lust on the list. Now, you wouldn't think that a person would be able to make a moth monster sexy, but you would be wrong. Sakurama is definitely like top 3 for characters that people simped over in FNF. And I think a lot of it was due to her jiggle mechanics, of course, but also her long tongue, which you wouldn't think a lot of people would be into, but again, you would be wrong. Next, we have a mod where boyfriend is literally just battling against a glizzy. I'm not gonna explain why this one makes the sus list. I think we can all be in agreement on this one. This next one was very popular a couple of years back, and that is the Sonic Caught mod. This is where Sonic used Tails' computer to look up some sexy hedgehogs and ends up getting caught. I'm sure most of you remember this scene.
Holy shit! I just whoa, what? This is my space! Sonic time! Sonic time!
Next, we have the Unsex mod, and this one has a bunch of characters that have been gender swapped or just enhanced in certain categories. And this is why we see Daddy Dearest with the biddies here, and also boyfriend later on in the mod. Now, I debated putting Sky Blue in Tame, but I think Sus is right for her. They made this character way too dang thick, and for whatever reason, she's thrusting her cheeks at boyfriend. I think this one definitely deserves a spot. Next, we have the Dexplication mod, and this one literally has girlfriend just bent over this chair, showing the cheeks. I feel like there's not a whole lot to say about this one, but the mod developers knew exactly what they were doing when they made this particular song. The final mod that I'm going to put in the sus category is going to be the Baddies mod. This scene in particular was a lot. The two of them are on the bed here, and you can see the tallies carved into the headboard, showing that these two have been very busy. This is also one of the few mods where a character just pulls out a condom. This one definitely deserves a spot in this video, and apparently they're supposed to be making like an updated version, so I'm curious to see what that's going to look like. It has to be crazy. Lastly, we're going to take a look at the mods that may be a little bit raunchy but are pretty tame overall, starting with the Twitch split mod. A lot of people had issue with this one when it came out, but honestly, I thought it wasn't that bad. Girlfriend may be in some booty shorts, but considering that this mod was making fun of Twitch and some of the creators on there, I think it was pretty tame for what it could have been. Next, we have the Minus Retrospector, more specifically Minus Sakurama, and compared to the regular one, this one isn't too bad at all. The cheerleader outfit may be a tad bit raunchy, but compared to some of the things that we've seen just in this video, this one's just fine. The Girlfriend Thick Reskin is another one that people had issue with because of the increased size of Girlfriend's assets, we'll say, and also her being mashed into the ground like that. But overall, I don't think this one is too bad. This one's more just goofy. The Evolution mod makes the Tame tier because even though Girlfriend is man-spreading and only has bandages covering her body, she actually isn't too lewd here. And just a fun fact, apparently her design is based off Blaziken. Initially, I thought she was supposed to be the girl from Fairy Tail, whose name I always forget, but looking at the design, it definitely makes sense now. Next, we have the Caramella mod, and this one may not even deserve to be on this list, but I just think it creeps me out personally. It's something about these preteens dancing with those dead eyes that's just so weird to me. While I can't justify putting it any higher on the list, I do think it deserves a spot in this video overall. Next, we have the Hell Reborn mod, and this one had Girlfriend showing a lot of cleavage, and she also has her tongue out, but overall, I don't think this one's too bad. I think the bloody characters around her are probably more disturbing than her herself. The Gunpowder Incident also makes the Tame list, and some people had an issue with this one because Girlfriend is shaking her assets around a bit in this song. But overall, I think this one is pretty tame. Most people probably didn't even notice this if they were actually playing the mod. Next, we have the Dearest Double Date, and this one makes this tier because even though it could have been higher, like if Boyfriend and Girlfriend didn't get interrupted, Daddy Dearest and Mommy Mirrors made sure that nothing was going to happen with Boyfriend and Girlfriend here. They basically played the ultimate blockers. I think this mod just ended up being more funny than anything else because when Boyfriend and Girlfriend actually finally get alone, they still can't get any action. Now, in that same vein, we have the mod where Boyfriend was caught in bed with Nene, so Daddy Dearest comes to rough him up a little bit. And I think the reason that people were kind of upset with this one was because Nene's in her drawers. But I would say that this one is pretty dang tame for the most part, especially compared to a lot of the other stuff we've seen in this video. Next, we have the HD mod, and a lot of people were talking about this one because the outfit that Mommy Mirrors and Girlfriend are wearing. Obviously, Mommy Mirrors is very revealing, but I feel like you see mostly just her abs, while everything else is relatively covered up. And for Girlfriend, she's just in a sexy dress. So overall, I don't think this one is too bad. Maybe I could see this one being like in the sus category, but With that being said, let me know if there's any characters you would move around. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out this video on the screen here. Subscribe today to become a member of the Orseofkorse, and we'll see you tomorrow with another video. Peace, peace.